One book that I've recently been reading is not really a typical book that I would engage with as a missiologist. So it's a bit out of my field, but I was caught by the title of a book by Melvyn Bragg. Melvyn Bragg's a British author, really exciting novelist, who writes about historical periods and figures. Secular writer, but often writes about theological historical figures. And this book, Love Without End, is the account of Eloise and Abelard. Abelard being a famous 12th century theologian, quite radical in his day, and Eloise was his student. As a consequence of educational relationship, this became a physical relationship, and they became passionately involved. Eloise's father wasn't particularly happy about this, and Eloise's father took quite decisive action in a non-surgical fashion, which ended up with a surgical consequence for Abelard. Some of you will know the story if you don't go and Google it. It's fairly well known. And this brought their relationship ultimately to an end, and they rarely saw one another. Eloise became a theologian of note in her own right, and the book hints at some of the tender moments that they experienced as later in life. But I find the book fascinating because it brings very much to the fore this kind of strange intermingling of human motivation, often designed for the best ends but totally misdirected. It brings to the fore questions around human love and romance and relationship and how that can exist in the context of religious faith. Shot throughout is Melvyn Bragg's own attempt to understand some of the theological innovations that Abelard was introducing into the theological classroom of his day. And so as a theological educator, you can imagine it has all sorts of resonances for me. And again, it brings this right to the heart of, I think what we're called to do is to try and understand faith right at the heart of the messiness of human life. I think that's my calling, and that's why I enjoy doing what I do.